your bingo hole. I am a dinosaur. It's working.
What on earth was that song?
I just said the first bunch of words that came to my mouth.
Show me your bingo hole. I am a dinosaur.
Well,
Don't be racist. I am a building.
Oh man, well, you got the chorus to my this. I was just freestyling to make sure that the program was working.
I like yours better.
Hey, well, that's the beauty of freestyling, and now it's gone.
It is. No. Well, it's not. It's been recorded and preserved forever, like a museum.
And that is if I leave it in.
What even is a bingo hole? How's that?
Well, it's probably the button, you know?
Because they both start with B?
Yeah.
All right.
The, butthole.
Well, get your, keep your I-28 out of there. Because it might turn pink.
I'm going to say keep most things out of there.
All eyes, number one. Most letters.
Absolutely. Don't want that infection. I'm going to just, you know what? It's your butthole. Do what you want. Love what you do. And the money will come. That's the key to life.
You do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right. That's right.
And if you love bingo holes, open a hall.
Don't, because you're just going to attract old people, and that's not good. All right. God damn it. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good start.
This Grindhouse Movie Club. If you haven't listened to it, we talk about movies.
Let me tell you, if you haven't listened to Grindhouse Movie Club and you're just tuning in at Primeval, the movie that we watched this week, I don't know how the fuck you got here. Because unless you're an Orlando Jones super fan, chances are you've never heard of this fucking movie.
They are out there, you know.
They are.
There are people out there who are just living life. I'm trying to think of other movies that he's in.
Well, Evolution.
Yeah, that's the only other one.
I have no idea.
I know there's more.
He's had an extremely illustrious career, and all that we can come up with is Evolution and Primeval and a couple episodes of House.
He's on Mad TV for seasons.
And he's on Mad TV, where he's funny, I'm sure.
Yeah, my childhood was Mad TV and the movie Evolution. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen Evolution, check it out.
Probably. We'll never cover it on this podcast.
We
but,
might.
Oh, yeah? You think Evolution's a horror movie?
Well, here's the thing. Here's
It's not a comedy about shoplifting?
Not really. It's more a comedy about shampoo.
I say that because that's all I remember. I remember dinosaurs.
No.
And they weren't even dinosaurs. And I remember the chick, which I think I said last week, trying to stuff clothes into her fucking
and then
underneath her clothes.
Sean William Scott going tookie tookie tookie. Fucking beautiful movie. So here's what I did.
Yeah.
When I was looking for the movies for you to choose from, I went in because I wanted to pick ones that I've never watched before. So what I did was I made sure that like horror was in at least the first or the second slot.
As far as like
IMDb.
when they're describing genres.
Yeah, right in the genre. They usually give you 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I made sure horror was one of the first 2.
Okay.
So if
we're going in blind on this one, eh?
Hey, yeah, if Evolution is in with the horror in that one of those first 2, I'm saying it's good to go.
There's no fucking way that it is.
Hey, we did Tremors, and it's a comedy horror. I looked right there on IMDb.
Speaking of comedy horrors, I would definitely call Primeval that.
Yeah, no. Thank God for Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Because this movie would have been very bad.
It would have been dry and boring without Orlando Jones.
Oh, yeah. We really needed Orlando because the rest of this was just baloney.
Yeah, human atrocities.
Yeah.
That have nothing to do with a giant crocodile, despite the fact that the poster for the movie is just the mouth of a giant crocodile.
Very little crocodile.
Not enough.
And with that, I'm going to ask you to go to Grindhouse. Darkroastcult.com.
Yeah.
I forgot our website.
That's all good.
And you can listen to Grindhouse right there on Dark Roast. Cult.com.
And it's sick.
It is. It's good. It's just good for the family.
You can also get pins there.
Set your homepage to darkroastcult.com.
Yeah, do it.
And then also buy some pins.
When your grandma opens your computer to play Free Cell, I want her to accidentally open that up and see what we're doing.
Yeah, I want the first thing she experiences to be this. Welcome to the internet, Grandma.
Sorry about the dementia.
Sorry about the bingo hole.
Yeah.
All right. That and also thanks to Andrew for making the theme tune.
Despite the fact that Matt tried to outdo it with his own song right afterward.
I'm a musical genius.
Now that I've brought it back over and over, you have to leave it in. So enjoy that. Everybody's going to know your singing abilities now.
That's through a pen.
Yeah.
And disgust. That's what that was. That wasn't me hitting Jay or anything.
It did sound like a wet slap.
So do you have you got a couple sentences to ruin this movie?
This time I couldn't.
You couldn't?
I have no idea. White people find out that the worst thing in Africa isn't the reptiles.
Mine's pretty similar. Crocodiles are bad, but the real monster is African politics. That's this movie is the African politics movie featuring crocodile. The crocodile.
Sometimes there's a crocodile.
Yeah.
Very seldom, as a matter of fact. Now, right away, I just want to point out that this film they open it by saying it's inspired by true events.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Must have blacked that out of my memory.
So, out of extreme curiosity, because every time I see that phrase, I get very skeptical. Mm-hmm. I looked and tried to find how true the events were.
Oh boy.
As far as well, first of all, the premise of the movie is these fucking journalists go and try and trap a crocodile that's killing people. Mm-hmm. It's very big. They go to this place, Burundi in Africa, which is in the midst of a civil war and has been for years and years. Everyone listening. That part is very real.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah. They say Hutu and Tutsi. Those are actual words.
If they had just made those words up, it would be very racist.
And it also would be based on nothing.
At all.
That there would be no basis in real life. But all right.
So this crocodile's name is Gustav.
Yes.
And I found out that the crocodile is also quite real.
Okay.
However, I couldn't... The whole premise is he's killed hundreds of people.
Yeah.
They don't really explain whether or not these people are living or dead, but there are several scenes of this crocodile attacking living people. I didn't really find any proof that anything that this crocodile ate, human-wise, was alive at any point. They do mention in the movie, and it's funny because this happened like 4 times as I was writing notes. I wrote things that were like addressed an hour later. One of them was... during a civil war in Africa, where you have a military-industrial complex killing villagers. I'm sorry, I just turned 12 and my puberty hit.
Hey, it happens, man.
You're not... This movie opens with a mass grave.
Yes, it does.
That's a lot of digging.
It is. And
there's a river right there? Just throw them on the floor. So this...
The floor.
When you're outside, it's called the ground. So, yeah, of course, this fucking crocodile and every crocodile within a fucking 1,300-mile radius of this small village where this movie takes place is going to be eating the dead bodies that are chucked into the river.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Your cleanup squad is right there.
Yeah, it is. That's better than a hazmat team. Because you don't have to pay it.
Yeah, and also they turn everything to poo.
Yeah, they sure do.
They sure do turn
and
it
then,
to poo.
That poo probably becomes trees later.
Yeah.
Circle of life, everyone.
You know what? Had they, instead of like taking the time to dig those holes and half bury those bodies, they could have, throw them in the river. Because, like, nobody's going in there. There's crocodiles.
Yeah. Did you see how murky that shit water was?
Yeah, even if you do...
probably literal shit water?
Yeah, there's... I don't know how crocodiles are seeing in there.
No idea.
They must have little windshield wipers that are just going like...
I know actually for a fact that crocodiles can't see underwater.
I don't know, what the fuck are they doing?
Only when the water's clear. They can't fucking see through it any better than anybody else can.
Well, then get the fuck out of the water!
Yeah, stay out of the water.
Jesus.
One of the things in this movie that happens a lot is bad parenting on the part of African parents.
Well...
In that they just let their kids swim in the water knowing full well that a legendary giant crocodile that consumes human flesh could be anywhere.
Well, the problem with that, they had the dog on the raft, right?
Oh, they had the dog on the... Thank God. The crocodile had no interest in that dog whatsoever. No. That dog was like the safest thing in the entire movie.
So this we're getting ahead of
Oh
ourselves
yeah, no,
here.
I'm jumping all over the place.
This
time.
alligator is exactly the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park. It doesn't want to be fed. It wants to hunt. So it don't care. It didn't care about Jojo climbing in the cage. It didn't give a hoot's butt about whatever that goat that was in the cage. They didn't care.
Nah.
Didn't care about the dog on the raft because it was like they were like, oh, there's no game there, right?
No, I cared about Jojo with the flashlight though.
Yeah, gimme that child that's doggy paddling towards a dirty doll in the dark, murky river.
Yeah, because it imitates a seal apparently.
Yummy.
If it's anything like sharks. Now, okay, I wanted to get out of the way as well. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie for all of the reasons that we've said so far up to this point. And then also, like, where's the crocodile for the whole movie?
Yeah. No, there's,
You see more crocodiles at the beginning of the movie before anything happens than you see of this crocodile for the most part.
Yeah, there's yeah, no, I'm not. I even texted you. I'm like, where is the crocodile? Sorry, is it like in the background the whole movie?
Oh my god,
looking for it, or
I'll tell you something funny that's in the
like
background of a shot that I don't think you picked up on.
Is it like in a disguise?
Yeah,
is it one of the main characters just like with a hat? And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's right there.
It's like three kids that dress up like a grown man to get into an R-rated movie.
Yeah, it's just a crocodile in a trench coat with a fucking hat, and it's like a head, fucking
One ticket for Deep Throat because I have one.
Excuse me, sir. Are you a crocodile?
No. Ask me again. I dare you.
I'm gonna need to see some identification.
Teeth.
Sir. how
You're
many?
clearly a crocodile.
How many teeth?
Apparently 100. So I looked up some information on this crocodile, Gustav.
Oh, okay.
And at one point, several years ago, there was a documentary made about this very thing.
Oh, boy.
Which I think is why they made this movie. They tried to age it at the time. And crocodiles, I don't know if you know, but they can live for over 100 years.
Yeah, there's really no putting makeup on a crocodile.
No, it's like a parrot, but worse.
It looks old the second it comes out of its egg.
It sure does. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like a wrinkly, it's like Benjamin Button.
It's also weird that like crocodiles lay eggs.
Yeah, that's not something that you'd expect from a giant animal.
Yeah, no.
And they're not big eggs either. Like ostrich eggs are huge, but crocodile eggs are just like regular egg size.
I'd rather be a female crocodile than a female ostrich. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Imagine trying to push an ostrich egg out of your puss.
Your cloaca, sorry. Yeah, you would get torn from top cloaca to bottom cloaca.
All your cloacas become one.
So you got the ultra cloaca there.
So this fucking movie, you open on a mass grave and a young boy going, yeah, that's bodies.
Yeah, this is where the bodies are. I found them right here sticking up out of the ground covered in maggots. Okay, so why is every time they find bodies in movies, it's just like, let's sprinkle maggots atop the bones?
Well, they eat the meat on them.
Yeah, but there ain't no meat. It's just bones.
There's like a little microscopic amounts of meat still, probably. Also, where are maggots going? Do you see how slow they move?
They turn into flies after like half an hour or something.
Fair
like
enough.
that.
I guess they do that. Flies have a very short lifespan.
Yeah, those guys live for like 24 hours.
It's a weird circle.
Yeah.
It starts as a maggot on the skull, and then it eats a little bit, turns into a fly, flies up in the air half a foot, and then right back down and shits eggs out. Yeah. Rinse, repeat.
It's and somewhere in there, it has some fly sex.
Yeah, that's got to happen.
You ever, like, if you go outside, you're going to see flies having sex.
Eventually you will.
In the hot summer heat, they can't. That's their prime. That's their rut.
It can't be beat.
They're rutting.
I think it's rutting with D's, but I understand what you're saying.
I think you're talking about a part of a boat. Myself, I have no idea. All right. Yeah. So and then like the lady there, she's like some expert.
We have
some kind.
some humanitarian forensic scientist or something working with the UN.
Yeah, and
because she's got military guys with UN helmets on surrounding her constantly.
A lot of good they do.
Yeah, so much.
She says to the boy, she's like, yeah, you did the right thing by pointing out all these dead bodies.
So happy that you did that.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for doing the right thing there, kiddo.
It's not like I'm going to have to go back and do mounds of paperwork because of this.
Not only that, but like, Who the fuck wouldn't? Who goes, oh, dead bodies. Huh? That's Africa.
Turns out most of Africa does that.
Oh, come on now.
As evidenced by Harry, also known as Little Gustav in this movie.
Oh my god, Lil Goosty.
That's his rapper name.
To be honest, as soon as somebody throws little in front of it, if you don't have gold teeth and look like Lil Jon, what's going on, man?
Lil Xan.
Lil Foot.
Speaking of dinosaurs, this is a movie about a crocodile. That's a Land Before Time reference for everybody who's under the age of 30.
To be honest, I've never seen those movies.
Oh, well, Littlefoot is like the main dinosaur.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking like dude with little foot. Just one tiny foot, so he has to buy odd shoes.
He's not going to be a very effective warlord if he can't even walk.
But like that's always like the warlord thing. It's like they see him and he's got like one thing that's like, oh,
yeah.
You make fun of that and he kills you.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's got a little hand. Little foot.
So we got these UN peacekeepers here, I guess, trying to uncover the human atrocities that are occurring during the Civil War. And after digging up a bunch of bodies, she walks about 10 feet and finds what she thinks is a mass grave again. And then she promptly displays completely zero knowledge when it comes to how to use a shovel. She raises that shit over her head like a sledgehammer and slams it into the dirt. Straight up and down.
For a second, I thought she was signaling. I was like, "Oh, over here!" And then she like power throws it.
Not to mention, okay, if there's bodies in there, you just put the point of that shovel through a head.
For sure, you're doing way more damage than anything else that has been done to these bodies.
Amazing technique on that.
Just powering it through.
And then so. I chose this movie as one of the options last week purely out of nostalgia.
Okay.
I vividly remembered watching it and enjoying it very much. And then, after she plunges her shovel into the head of a child, ostensibly, we get treated to, like, the worst post-production screen shake ever. And I go, oh, this isn't going to be as good as I remember, is it?
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like,
I was dead right.
Did a YouTuber edit this one?
Yeah, man.
Teasers.
And then you get, the fucking action movie quick cut close up so you don't get to see anything that happens as she's attacked by this crocodile and dragged into the river.
Yeah, well, they did some fancy camera footwork to avoid showing anything worth seeing.
At all.
Yeah.
And for good reason, as it turns out, because this crocodile is 100% CG. At no point is it a real crocodile.
And you know what? I mean, had it been a real crocodile, like we just would have been watching Tremors. Also,
like, how would you shoot? You're basically watching a snuff film. You can't shoot with a crocodile that size without somebody getting death rolled at least once.
Oh, sorry. I meant like a practical effects crocodile.
Yeah, you're right. It would have been probably pretty low budget and shitty.
Yeah. It just would have been like a rubber crocodile that just would have, it would have been too big to look anything good or close to good.
Fucking, or like, if they did the animatronic, it would be so fucking slow. Just a giant $1 million robot for the 5 shots where it's visible.
In this movie that I've never heard of until you told me about it last week. So
I had this on DVD. I used to watch this shit like once a month.
When
I was like 16, I was like, this fucking movie's sick. All of the African politics shit and the subtext went right over my teenage head.
So you just enjoyed like 15 minutes total of this movie.
Yeah, and Dominic Purcell's chiseled chest.
Chiseled.
I want to point out, okay, well, first of all of the UN peacekeepers that this woman has with her after she gets dragged into the river and killed, they just fire into the water with AK-47s.
Oh, yeah, there's absolutely nothing there to shoot at, and they're just like, fuck you, the water. Also, take that.
Yeah, and then, like, do you not know with your United Nations training what happens to a bullet when it's fired into the water? It stops becoming a bullet and it becomes a small rock.
That, or it ricochets off and just goes anywhere else.
So, like, totally ineffective military here. And then we go right into fucking Dominic Purcell.
So he's
after the intro with all of the news headlines that are manufactured that are just like, oh, a horrible thing happened in Africa.
Yeah,
2 weeks later, another horrible thing happened in Africa.
The title sequence to this is just 40 seconds of just newspaper headlines and pictures of dead bodies.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Has nothing to do with this reptile at all.
They're like, oh, there's a serial killer. Oh, Gustav. Oh, and you're like, oh, there's a serial killer named Gustav.
Yeah, you don't think
this crocodile? Yeah. Oh, shit, we got a movie. We got a fucking movie right here. They're going to have to deal with that crocodile and Gustav. Turns out, no, same person, but there is a little Gustav. Mm-hmm. He's okay.
He's not okay.
I mean, like, he's not like, he's like half in the movie. He's in the movie for like 40 seconds total.
Yeah, he's not great.
And he's not even like a serial killer. He's a warlord. These aren't the same thing.
No, they're not. Mass murderers and serial killers, there's two different distinctions between those things.
Yeah.
So we're back in America now, and you can tell because the sepia tone is gone briefly.
Yes, the classic sepia tone, letting you know
every single shot in this fucking movie that's not at night has like a yellowish brown filter over top of it.
There's a really bad one when it's the first shot of them like in the boat going across, and there's like crocodiles in the foreground.
Also CG crocodiles.
I couldn't tell through the bad coloring.
It was very difficult to tell, but I knew because there was no weight to them. One of them like walks because they're on the shoreline, and one of them walks toward the river, and it looks like it's slithering. Like there's no footsteps.
Okay.
It's just okay.
So like one just like poofs and just like floats away like a cloud.
A way,
just like a little poofy cloud.
Yeah, like a balloon.
Like those balloon animals that.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a deflating balloon.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you've seen crocodiles on the ground or not, but their stomachs just go outward like a blob.
Well, yeah, the heaviest part of the crocodile is the crocodile. And it's like gravity. It seems like every crocodile is fighting gravity until it has to be the fastest animal on the planet.
Yeah, in which case it has no difficulty being that.
Yeah, I forget the stats, but like next to a cheetah, like they're supposed to be super fucking fast. Mm-hmm. So at this point, like why is there a movie? How is, like this movie should have ended with a bunch of dead people because they couldn't outrun this giant crocodile.
It kind of does. There's like 2 left by the end. 3, I guess.
Sure.
I found out, so the first thing I noticed, we're in the newsroom. Dominic Purcell's character, he's a journalist who just got burned doing a story that turned out to be fake. And his punishment is to take this woman who does like animal circus stories out into Africa.
He fucking hates her.
Hates her guts.
She's a pleasant lady.
Yeah, she's nothing but happy about it.
She's doing her best, and this guy fucking dumps on her.
Oh, yeah, the animal journalist.
Oh,
and then he goes, I didn't mean for that to sound condescending. That's a lie. You said it so condescendingly, there was no mistaking it. Oh, the piece of shit journalist that sucks at her job.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, the first thing that I noticed, though, about Dominic Purcell in this movie is that even in the newsroom, where just about everybody is dressed up professionally because it's a goddamn newsroom, his shirt is halfway unbuttoned.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like that the whole movie.
Yes. So I looked it up. And right on the trivia page, it was in his contract to have 3 to 4 buttons unbuttoned at all times.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's horrible.
I don't know how I feel about that at all.
How's your agent, Dominic?
Just apparently pretty fucking good.
I need your chest exposed constantly for this movie.
I mean, that seems like something he would have requested.
I need to see your male cleavage for at least 50 to 60 minutes of this 90-minute film.
We're in the newsroom, and there's some news story, some political baloney news story that nobody cares about.
I didn't even listen to it.
Yeah, no,
all I noticed was
you didn't need to.
You can always tell in movies when it's not an actual reporter or newsroom at all. It's just like some woman in front of a green screen and reading lines off a teleprompter.
They have just a picture of a dude in a suit in the top corner.
Another white guy bit it.
Yep. So this report is some political thing, and at the end of so this guy Jake keeps talking about, his name is Tim in the movie.
Yes.
And so at the end of this report, they're like, and fuck this Tim guy for not talking to us. And then at that moment, also Orlando Jones, who is Steven.
I need you to know, by the way, in spectacular form, his last name is it's the only American black guy in the movie. You don't really get to know any of the actual Africans' names, with the exception of Harry, which is a white-ass name. He does say his real African name, but I couldn't follow that. Fine. And Jojo, which is the name of your cat, which is so funny to me.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if she's got a little black in her. Anyway, his last name is fucking Johnson, which is the blackest last name you can have. In North America.
I had no idea.
Carl Johnson, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Okay.
They named him Steven Johnson. They went, okay, we're gonna go white first name, black as fuck though. Don't forget about that. Look at him.
Well, not just looking at his color.
Yeah.
He's a great cameraman.
Yeah, he
very
is.
dedicated to
Super
craft.
pissed about an out of focus talking head. Who cares?
And Tim's like, I'm trying to hear this. Well, you're going to have to hear it because you can't see it. But so like Roger is their boss, and he calls Tim in to tell to just drop the bomb that he's going to Africa.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh fuck, Roger wants to see you in his office. They look over and he, oh god, what do they say? They say something like, when they find out like Tim's getting outed for not responding to this reporter, Orlando Jones is like, hey, don't worry, Pimp My Ride's on. There's a chance he's not watching. So, and then they cut over to fucking Roger, who's scowling through his office window.
Yeah.
And he's just a silver-haired old man in a suit, and not like some dude in basketball shorts.
This man has probably never even heard of Exhibit.
Yeah, so he looks pissed, and they're like, oh fuck. But when they go in there, he's just pleasant. He's like, hey guys, what's up? I was watching Pimp My Ride over here. he doesn't actually say that, but like he's like,
I wish he had.
Just a pleasant dude. Like, so what? You just have a resting bitch face when you watch your employees.
The worst way, he's the best boss ever, because no matter how good you do, he still looks mad at you for it.
Yeah, he looks just livid. He didn't even give a shit about the news. He's like, guess what? You're going to Africa. I don't care about this.
No, I don't give a shit about this story. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then, so then we meet Aviva, which is the name of like a fucking bowel yogurt.
See, I just wrote Ava and Eva because I didn't hear them say that at first. And then I looked it up later and I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep calling her.
I rewinded it about 4 times to get her name.
Okay.
I'm going through it and I still don't have her fucking name. Let's go back.
Ugh.
And so they get introduced, and fucking Tim has a very horrible time with the idea of going to Africa because Burundi's a war zone. Now here's the thing: the entire premise of this movie doesn't make any fucking sense from a self-preservation as angle. I'm going to, even as Roger, I'm going to send my employees into war to get a lizard.
Fuck them employees.
Apparently.
There'll be more.
And then he goes, there's a ceasefire right now. They don't give a fuck about that.
There's a ceasefire now.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes.
So what happens when there's a go fire and we're there?
What happens when there's just fire?
He sends them in, and they're watching this report. And they start talking about the lady who is who was attacked by the crocodile, and she's
fucking Tim goes, "Oh, you mean the lady who got munched?"
Best line of the fucking movie. One of the best, because Orlando Jones has all the rest of them.
Yeah, he has every single good line in this entire film.
If it wasn't for him, this movie just would have been.
Yeah,
there would have been nothing, no saving grace.
Even that munch comment. I mean, that's a good line. It doesn't beat any time Orlando Jones opened his fucking mouth.
No.
Throughout the entire movie.
No, but I had a good fucking laugh because, that lady got munched.
Yeah. So, Tim makes a great first impression with the person that he's going to be spending potentially weeks with, and just the 3 of them, including Orlando Jones, a.k.a. Steven Johnson. I'm never going to get over that. If you sample 10 black people from East LA, I guarantee you at least one of them has the last name Johnson.
I wouldn't know. I don't pay that much attention to last names.
During this news story, Aviva says that it's a Brothers Grimm fairy tale about a giant dragon killing people.
Okay.
And I was like, that's a reach.
Yeah,
Why would you even include that line in the film? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, hey, this crocodile eating people, it's a lot like a probably racist German thing that was very old about nonsense.
Belschnickel and Black Peter.
Look, all I'm saying is don't. If it's a grim fairy tale, you don't want the actual. You just do the Disney translated version. It's much more for you,
right? You sheltered whites going into black hell, and then just shitting on culture for the first third of the movie.
Yeah,
that's all. That's really what they do.
When they're on the plane, so Tim's being a dick, and Evivivavia is like, "Hey, isn't this great?"
That's
and he's like,
African name,
and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is great with the war and the guns and the big crocodile, wonderful,
awesome,
and
fun."
Orlando Jones is like, "Hey, your attitude is shitty. You think Roger is fucking her?"
He goes so fast from like, "Hey, you should probably check yourself because we should be amicable with each other." You think she's getting railed by our boss?
Right, and his whole reasoning behind that is like, he's got a dick. She's got a nice butt.
She's tappable. He's got the tapping apparatus.
By the way, a tapping apparatus is a blind person's cane. Did you know that?
Oh my god. That's amazing. Didn't even have that thought. I love it. I don't know why fucking Steven is so preoccupied with whether or not Aviva's getting laid.
Yeah, it's none of their business.
Really?
They're there for the crocodile.
Let's just dig. We just met.
Yeah,
we just
first.
met today. Let's get right into your personal life. You getting filled up? You getting filled up or what, Vives?
Far too personal.
And then as we're doing that, yeah, that's when you get to see the fucking stupid crocodiles that suck. And we get introduced to the trapper.
Matt, right?
Yep, Matt Collins, who is I called him in my notes Dark Timeline Steve Irwin.
Yes.
Because he's a fucking asshole.
And he's all about shooting this crocodile.
All the time in this movie, he's an asshole until he gets hit by a truck so hard that his guts come out.
Oh, yeah, it does happen, doesn't it?
It fucking sure does.
Oh, boy.
Fucking Steven is just like taking B-roll basically of the trip, and then you get to see Aviva and the way that she looks in the passenger seat of this shitty Buddy Holly biplane as we go into the hottest continent in the world, and she's dressed like she's ready for like a Playboy shoot. She's got her hair done perfectly. It's like, okay, do you know what humidity is? That's gonna last 5 seconds. That makeup that you're wearing, that's gonna sweat off your face in less time than that. Why did you get dressed up for a wedding to get on this plane?
For whom?
Exactly.
Are you looking good for?
I want to look hot. It turns out she just really likes guys that treat her like shit. Because fucking her and Tim end up together by the end of the movie.
Do they?
Well, they're holding hands on the plane home.
You know what? I think I was just like, thank God. Thank God it's fucking done.
So yeah, Tim spends like 90% of this movie just shitting on this poor woman.
Yeah.
And then there's a turn at some point where she's like, you know what? I like this.
Hey,
great.
Something about this big crocodile makes this asshole hot.
You know what it was? It was the jug of pheromones.
It was the jug. It
works on crocodiles and horny women.
Yep. Thank God. It's like pocket sand. Really. Thank God. Just always keep a jug of crocodile pheromones on you. Just blood and guts.
He's just got that on deck.
Yeah.
It's a distraction effort. During this plane ride as well, Orlando Jones, again, the only black American lead in the movie, somehow manages to be racist against his own people.
Yeah, he does.
By doing a horrible impression of like an African chant.
Yeah, he does.
And now coming out of his mouth, it's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Nobody else in the plane could have done that. So
no, by law, I think.
Yeah, definitely, definitely would have. The movie would have been immediately worse.
Yeah, it would have. It would have been embarrassing to say I've watched it.
Yeah, anybody else in the plane had done that, it would have been like, ha, yikes.
Maybe we shouldn't take them to Africa.
Yeah.
What did I just hear that out of your mouth? I'll turn this plane around.
Oh my God.
I noted that a lot of Orlando Jones's lines did feel like improv in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, so I thought that was impressive. He's easily the best character in the whole film.
Oh my God.
Saving grace.
So they arrive to Africa. Heads up. Africa, not a great place.
No, it's real bad out there.
My impression of Africa from this film is you're going to get frisked no matter where you are.
You're going to get frisked with no lubrication whatsoever.
It seemed like everybody, I don't know if they were at the airport or if they were somewhere, everybody was getting frisked but them.
They were indeed at the airport.
Yeah. And
it's probably because they were the only white ones there.
It could be. Orlando recording everything gets told not to. It's illegal to record.
Now, I was confused about this because this is when we meet Harry, who we learn later on is little Gustav.
Little gusty.
A little gussied up. And he's the one who says that it's illegal to film inside the airport.
Because he doesn't want himself filmed.
That's exactly what I thought. He doesn't pop up in the movie long enough to explain whether or not that's the case until later on when he gets filmed murdering someone.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense that you wouldn't want to be caught doing that on camera. That's why You're Under Arrest exists.
I love that show.
That's fucking amazing show.
If you're in Canada and you've got Netflix, look it up.
If you like Cops, it's the Canadian version of Cops, and unfortunately, there are a lot of native Canadians who get into trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Now, I understand that probably sounds racist to say, but it's also an objective fact about the show.
But there is an almost equal amount of
white trash meth heads.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say white mulleted, jean jacketed individuals.
Yeah, that's also true.
Slamming their head onto things of their own accord.
What is it with white trash and just being so belligerent when they get drunk? Well, I just go to bed.
I've never had the urge to bash my head on the back of a cop car until it was bloody.
Yeah, until my forehead exploded everywhere.
But I think it's just, there's something about like 90s liquor that just did that to people, you know?
Thunderbird and fucking Alberta Premium.
It just hit different in the 90s. So at this point, I think it's a little Goosty is like, yeah, your boat's not going to be ready for forever.
And that's how long so it's about 30 seconds it takes for Tim to just take his dick out and swing it at this man.
And his dick is just an uncharged phone that even I could tell that it's not even lit up.
Yeah.
He didn't even dial anything. Anyone. He just put it to his ear and was like, yeah. He says, there's nothing, no boat.
We're stuck here and we're going to leave.
And then all of a sudden, the boat is ready.
Yeah. So
interesting how that works.
Yeah. Obviously, Harry didn't want them to go anywhere near his territory because that's the territory that they're entering into in order to get this crocodile.
Yep.
Is his area, his private square, if you will. Around this time, Steven, Orlando Jones, just tries to say hi to someone and gets stared down with what I can only describe as the most murderous stare from just a guy.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Fuck you too. I'm from Brooklyn."
Which, I mean, I don't know who's scarier.
I do, because I don't care how many gunshots you hear on a Saturday in Brooklyn, New York. It's not 10 guys with AK-47s pointed at your face most of the time.
All right, you got a point.
And, like, that guy just lives in that. Every single person in this movie, basically, their families are either dead or dying because of this civil war.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. All right.
So, and also, like, he's not going to have any fucking frame of reference as to what Brooklyn is or means.
Point J.
Yay!
So yeah, they get on this boat. They're like, here's your bodyguards. Here's two guys. Look at them. They're crazy people.
They're operating an M60 on the top of this boat. Probably just let them do their job.
Knowing full well that there's war going on, Tim's like, hey, do we really need this big fucking gun? I think do we really? I could do without this big fucking gun.
And Harry just goes, trust me, you'll need it.
Yeah, AKA Harry is just going fucking wild.
Yeah.
So this whole time, Tim just doesn't give a hoot about this story. Like,
no, he doesn't give a fuck about it.
He's trying to write some political thing. Like, he doesn't care that, like, finding this crocodile is going to be a pretty big scientific thing. Like, it's like he thinks it's just not going to be news at all. But
no,
it's a 25-foot crocodile that's killing. It's killed more than 300 people at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's a good fucking... And also, worth noting, and this is another thing that fucking Orlando Jones says. This crocodile's like, OJ fucked up when he killed that white lady.
Yeah, oh my God.
Before he even said that, I was like, yeah, it makes sense that it takes one white woman being killed for anybody to be sent to check it out.
Oh, but she was British too, so that's...
that's even,
double jeopardy right there.
Double jeopardy. I don't think you know how Jeopardy works. And then you go, sorry, what is? That's double Jeopardy. So Tim's working on this story, and Aviva comes up, promptly gets reminded that he couldn't give a fuck less about her or what she's there to do.
Right.
And then she goes, you're kind of an asshole. And that's when I wrote down, Aviva likes abusive men, because she says it in like a cheeky, joking way, despite the fact that he is definitely a dick.
You're not wrong.
And she's like, oh, you're kind of an asshole, aren't you? Tee-hee.
This is not a good way to meet women.
What's below deck of this ship? Let's go together.
Why don't you go fucking find out?
And then they promptly get shot at from the fucking brush.
And oh my god, as they're getting shot at, Matt comes out and he's like, what's going on? And Tim's like, we're being shot at by some guys. Just some fucking guys.
As if he's got no idea.
They probably see the guys who work for little Gustav and they're like, well, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And they're the good guys.
That's pretty telling.
Yeah.
Somebody on that dock saw them hanging out with little Gustav. And they're like, okay, we're going to ambush them in the woods at night in order to save our lives and the lives of our families. And then the two guys on top of the ship operating the machine gun chuckle to each other as they murder a dozen people.
Oh my god. I wrote down the dude operating the big gun really likes shooting people.
Loves it.
It's his favorite thing in the entire world.
It must be. He was so happy about that. So that happens. Nobody really gets murdered on the boat from memory.
No.
And then we get the child swimming to get her waterlogged doll for no reason.
Yeah, they show shots of like this town. It's like a little village. They make a good point of showing a shot of this dog on a raft. And you're like, oh, there's a dog on a raft. That's funny.
Even with no context, I was like, okay, that's bait.
Yeah, I took a close look. I'm like, that dog's tied to the raft. Ah, shit.
He doesn't want to be out there.
They keep showing people like looking out at the water, be like, is the dog still there? Dog, okay, dog's there. Dog's there. Good.
This is my whole fucking point.
Yep.
And then just, oh, my daughter? Yeah, go get your doll.
Yeah.
Go get your doll 20 feet away from the bait for the giant crocodile that we left out there.
The doll was so much further out in the water than the dog was.
Just get the dog instead. That's better than the doll.
Yeah.
And then, you get big fat crocodile mouth.
Big fat crocodile mouth.
And then we cut to black. And this is another thing the problem that I have with this fucking movie. There's weird cuts to black for almost no reason.
I did notice that.
I don't know who the editor was, but it's like, okay, we're out of footage.
The editor?
Let's just go to the next scene.
The editor, I actually looked that up. A blind person. They used their tapping apparatus to edit the film.
You had me on the hook on that one. I thought you actually knew. I thought you were going to tell me it was some guy who sucks and he's made like a bunch of shit movies.
No, I have no idea.
We get that happening. Then we get to meet Jacob, who is the guide. The white Australian guide. The
guy who's like, I want to keep this thing alive. And he's like, a baby been eaten in a river, mate. And we're gonna go move. We got to go. I'm trying to do his accent.
Yeah.
I can't. And he's like, we gotta go. We're just gonna carry this big fucking cage though, eh? This more than 25-foot long cage we got for the 25-foot long crocodile?
Yeah.
So we need about 1,000 men.
So we meet fucking Jacob. He's sharpening a machete, which is menacing enough. Yeah. And then cut to night, and that's where we get conversation between Matt and Jacob, where they argue about whether or not the crocodile stays alive. All of the exterior shots of his house during this nighttime scene are during the day, and then nighted in post.
I love when you can tell that a lot of horror movies.
You just dark blue it.
Yep. Dark blue, and you try to make the sun look like the moon the best you can.
Yeah, just like a fucking 30-second hue shift, and it doesn't ever convince anybody who looks.
Nope.
With their eyes.
Nope. It's like that's when you blink. During movies is when you see it fake night. Oh, shit.
Good thing I blinked. I would have been upset.
Yeah, damn.
We get to see, fucking Gustav Cage, which is apparently, according to the writing of the news report that Aviva is doing about the cage, even this crocodile can't bite through this steel. I've seen thicker sheets of paper than the metal they use to put this fucking cage together.
Yeah.
I could kick that and it would break in half.
It was like a big origami cage.
It sure was. And you're going to hold a fucking like a 3-ton animal in that thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Good goddamn luck.
One power roll and he's going to be just wearing that thing like a scarf.
So we got these American journalists, and like you were saying, all of the resources in the world, seemingly. Let's just make a bunch of Africans carry it to the water.
Right?
And we'll give them $5.
And it's not like it's to the water. It's like, it's a trip.
It's like, kilometers of walking.
Portaging.
Yeah.
This fucking cage.
Canoes are roughly about 60 pounds these days with the fiberglass and everything. This giant cage is probably a couple tons.
Yeah. I was it like Tim goes to like lend a hand and like, come on, and then get out of here.
A bunch of African people fist fight over the position of carrying the heavy cage.
Somebody's tricked these people into thinking that it's fun to do chores.
Fuck yeah.
Who did this?
Probably Jacob, who said they need this job.
Yikes. It's not good when white people are in charge.
Hey guys, remember slavery?
Yeah, you oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. I tricked you.
Orlando Jones in this movie, Steven, really makes a point of reminding everyone of slavery.
Well, yeah, he does.
He sure fucking does.
He has some lines that I dare not write down for the color of my skin. It just wouldn't look right if somebody came across this and took it out of context, you know?
Yeah. Jacob, the one who wants to kill the crocodile more than anybody.
Yeah.
Loads himself up with a 2-round sniper rifle.
Yeah, he does.
For the crocodile that it's been established has survived several gunshots already.
Right. It's not. I think they even make a point of calling it bulletproof or something like that.
They sure do. But I'll just, 2 shots ought to do it.
Well, what the fuck was a machete gonna do?
That's a good point. You fucking go after the tongue, I guess. Just get right in there.
It's good. That means it's like close enough to you that it's
it doesn't matter that you have the machete.
Yeah. At that point, that's just like a toothpick. You're bringing a toothpick to the dinner.
If anything, you're being helpful.
It's like when you get a BLT and they just put one through to hold everything together.
Yeah. That's what your machete is, Jacob, you idiot. That's basically what your sniper rounds are as well. When they show up at this village, all of the villagers are very excited to see them.
It's like when the Ghostbusters roll in.
And my first thought was, they think that these guys are Red Cross. So imagine a village full of people like, oh, you're bringing supplies, bandages, and medicine. And carry this cage for me.
Yeah, we got the crocodile cage. Don't worry, guys.
Walk it.
It's not food, but at least there'll be one less crocodile in the water.
Maybe a couple of you will die of exhaustion, and it'll be much easier to feed each other afterward. That's our brand of help.
Oh, boy.
Aviva goes out into the river, onto the dock there, completely ignores their culture in order to save a dog.
Yeah, she really takes all of their whatever tradition they were honoring there and just goes, pa, 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 slap.
She even says, I'm all for tradition, but I can't let that happen.
Yeah, so fuck you. Fuck you.
Your country.
Oh, is this your dog? Oh, fuck you. I'm going to take that.
Yes. And then, she just absconds with the dog for the rest of the movie.
By the way, this dog, filthy.
It's a rat.
It's a filthy dog.
It's a subway rat.
It's the dog that is in those like urban legends where they're like, we found this dog at sea. And they take it to the vet and they're like, that's the biggest rat I have ever seen.
Yeah, that's totally what this dog is. I'm trying to remember what movie I saw a very similar dog in that it reminded me of, but I can't. It's another horror movie, but either way, another dirty dog that dies.
Dirty dog that dies.
Now, this dog doesn't.
No.
Just call me, doesthedogdie.com. Spoiler alert, if your concern is animals being killed, they don't get that.
Nope. No animals harmed. Actually, you know what? For being in the middle of Africa, like out in the middle of like nowhere, very little animals. You know?
Yeah, not too many. There's a couple zebras every so often.
One dirty dog.
One goat lathered in blood and piss.
Yeah, blood, piss, and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yeah, the dog doesn't die, but it does pull like a Friday the 13th Part 8 where it just goes away for a long time and then comes back at the end.
It fucking sure does. Oh, it just naturally, it's fine. Yeah. Of course, all dogs have this innate ability to, like, you hear the stories about them tracking their owners across the states or something. Yeah. It's like that in Africa as well with dogs.
Exactly.
They know where the plane is. They know which plane the person they like is on, and they just hop right on that shit. Yeah. No, they just skip to the front of the line too, like a rich person.
Homeward Bound 3.
Yeah.
What are they? The Serengeti. I forget what. It's not the Outback. What do they call it in Africa?
Africa.
All right. Fair enough.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Homeward Bound 3.
African plains, I guess.
This time it's Kilimanjaro.
I don't think Kilimanjaro is in Africa. That's the funniest
Surprise.
part. I know, because of that fucking song that everybody likes.
The rains down in Africa. Kilimanjaro. Bless the...
I don't know geography that well.
It's okay.
So this is where the Ace Ventura reference that I texted you about comes in.
Okay.
They make it to the village where they're posting up by the water with this cage. Mm-hmm. And we have scenes of, I'm so mad about the way that Steven uses computers. He just has like a fucking crate and he's got his computer set up on it and just like out in the elements and then becomes surprised when it rains and everything gets destroyed.
Right? Oh my God.
Fuck you, jerk.
Water make electricity no work?
Who knew? I've only been filming as a news journalist for years and years.
I take my laptop on boat and in shower. What?
So we're at this, they're doing this fucking, one of the most racist scenes in this whole movie, by the way, is this campfire, and we have the villagers doing traditional African songs, and then
oh no,
they're eating.
Oh no,
they're eating off of plates, and Steven goes, what is this? This is delicious. And then Jacob says, in Swahili, all meat is meat.
Yep,
which means you're eating butthole, I would assume.
Yeah, or just like it's like rat or something. Yeah, just like. Whatever was easiest.
Something fleshy that you could throw in a fire and bring it out and eat it without dying.
Yeah. It's best not to ask questions.
So in Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, Ace is eating off of a fruit bowl.
Yeah.
And he goes, this fruit paste is delicious. And then the African guide that they have goes, it's made from guano, which is batshit. And then he goes, yummy, and spits it out just like Steven does.
Oh, I missed that completely.
And I don't know if it was a deliberate reference to that joke or if they just straight up poached it from a better movie.
Oh my God. I was really hoping the reference was going to be the bumblebee tuna. Excuse me, your balls are showing. Bumblebee tuna.
I will say that when Aviva is paying... So Aviva's racist. This is my next point.
Okay.
When Aviva is paying all of these villagers for the hard manual labor...
Oh, she doles out those bills.
Yeah, they're like dollars. One.
Shh, they're bills. At least she's not giving them handfuls of pocket change. Like, here's a nickel. Thanks.
Apparently in Swahili, Asante Sana is thank you very much, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Anyway, Lion King. Asante Sana, squash banana. Which is what Rafiki says. So we're just digging deep with the cultural fucking ignorance in this movie. It doesn't stop almost the whole fucking movie. And most of it is Aviva.
Wait, well, hold on. Is it that, or is the Lion King just like fucking haha squash bananas and Swahili? Yeehaw, I'm a monkey. Like
that's worse.
Okay,
that's way worse.
Because that's what I was like. Oh fuck no, Disney, you've done it again. Can't you not for just 1 second?
That's why this movie's on Disney Plus. They're like, oh, I get it.
There you go. Yeah.
I hate black people too.
Fits right in.
So after the traditional African song, they expect the Americans to return the favor with a traditional American song. Mm-hmm. And in a spectacular fashion, once again.
Of all songs.
Aviva begins to sing Amazing Grace.
Of all songs.
And then Stephen goes, why would you launch into a Negro spiritual in Africa?
He brings points to the table.
Great ones. That's her first thought. Well, I better sing something they'll fucking get.
Something they might join in on.
Yeah, but that's bad because that song is from slavery era. Yeah, you guys will understand. Your grandparents know this song real well.
No. Oh, yeah, thank God Orlando was there to really put a hat on a hat. Just remind us.
I did have appreciation for the fact that they just put that in the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know what you've done, and it's racist. We're going to break the fourth wall and call attention to how racist we've written this.
Yeah, oopsies. Our bad. But it's too late now. We already paid for the rights to use this. You don't even need the rights to use that song.
No, it's public domain.
All right.
I'm sure.
That's probably why they used it. What other song? Fucking Camptown Races?
Happy birthday for 8 seconds. You can do it for 8 seconds before you get charged. Yeah.
Happy birthday. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it.
You get a very angry email from somebody in Hollywood.
Just an old lady.
How dare you?
You owe me one happy birthday.
An amount of money equivalent to exactly one happy birthday.
You must pay the tuppence. I imagine all ladies want their tuppence.
Yeah, they must.
Yeah. So they do that, and then they go to the shaman.
Yeah.
Who is a man in a tent.
Desperately in need of skin moisturizer.
Absolutely driest skin on the planet. I assumed he'd rubbed himself in mud.
The guy's got full body eczema.
I forget what it's. He starts blowing smoke on everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's Tim. And Tim's like, nah, I'm allergic to mumbo jumbo.
That is Matt. And this is my whole point.
Oh, God.
Matt Collins, fake Steve Irwin, is a fucking asshole. The whole movie.
He's the anti-Steve Irwin.
Exactly. Dark timeline.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, he's just not interested.
Right to that guy's face. And then you learn he speaks English. So he knew exactly what Matt said to him.
Yeah, but...
And he just let that go like, this happens to me every time you guys show up.
Very professional shaman.
Yeah.
When you want a shaman, you want one who's going to be professional in the face of adversity.
I'm not going to interrupt this ritual where I'm summoning our version of Satan just for some white asshole.
Yeah. I don't know what he was smoking, but honestly, he was probably too high.
Yeah. You could probably tell by how much Steven loved having that smoke blown in his face.
Yeah.
Let me get a nickel bag of that.
It's a big bag.
It is.
It's a fairly big bag.
So everybody gets their blessing. And... dude, I could just go through every single one of Orlando Jones' fucking lines in this movie, honestly.
Oh, God.
Jacob is trying to explain the purpose of the smoke, and he goes, it's meant to be a blessing. And then in the background, you hear him go, it is a blessing.
Fuck. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah. And then this shaman launches into some explanation as to what needs to be done. Oh, you're going to face the devil, and you're going to die.
No, yeah, well.
And then just in the background, out of focus, Orlando Jones is just hitting that pipe in the corner.
Is he? Oh,
he fucking sure is.
I missed it.
You hear like a little tap and an inhale, and I was like, what is that? And I looked in the back, and you just see him hauling off of that fucking thing like he's never going to see weed again. Oh. Beautiful. What a beautiful man.
Oh, and that really was his last hit, too. So he made it a good one. He knew.
On the topic of Matt Collins in this movie saying I'm allergic to mumbo jumbo, I wrote down Chris Pontius and Steve-O and Wild Boys were more open to the culture than this fuck.
Yeah, they were.
And they were on coke.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were right into blood. What's that? Throw that in my face.
What's that? Blood and piss? Give me it. Right away, give me it.
This guy, a little pot smoke. Narc. Get him out of here.
He works for the DEA. Little do you know.
Shit. So okay, they get to this. Eventually, they get to this fucking crocodile. There's a cage with a goat in it.
Let's talk about the blood, piss, and pheromones.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me about the blood, piss, and the pheromones.
Sometimes I work outside in the hot heat.
Ooh, hot heat.
Typically with tradespeople, the brand of giant water jug used is Coleman. Mm-hmm. They also make lunch pails. They're very good at it. Now this one's blue, I believe, right?
Probably.
It's like blue and red.
I think so.
So I have just the red version of the exact same jug.
Nice.
Jacob has filled this thing with, first of all, tricks Tim into smelling it by saying it's fucking liquor, which is just great prank. But he explains, without question, that it is blood, urine, and pheromones in there. He's got about 4 liters of blood, piss, and musk.
This thing holds a lot of piss. This baby can hold 4 liters of piss. Slaps top.
Like he's proud of it.
Yeah.
So we tie the goat to the inside of the cage as bait. This cage, by the way, pisses me off so bad, and I'll tell you exactly why shortly. And then we just dump blood and piss onto the goat. And then we wait.
That's the recipe right there.
That's the recipe for
Goat
catching a
cage,
crocodile.
Blood piss.
Yeah, and then we're good. Crocodiles show the fuck up.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it ate the goat. To be honest, I thought somebody stole the goat.
The goat seemingly disappears from the cage when it gets knocked into the water.
Well, no, because there's no goat, and then they like put
the goat disappears overnight.
They put like a roasted goat in there.
Yeah.
Because the cameras don't work because the rain or some shit. But the goat's gone, and then you see Jojo climbing back in the cage. I'm like, is he stealing this goat too?
He's just he's making runs back to the village with their food.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I got another goat. But then he starts like shouting obscenities into the water to upset the crocodile. Like the crocodile speaks Swahili English.
Yeah.
French. It's fucking French.
It should be established, by the way, that Jojo wants to go to America super bad.
Yeah. This is his like, I'm gonna get this crocodile in here. They're gonna take me to America.
Didn't really think it through because there's only one way in and out of that cage. And guess what's on the open end?
Mouth.
So I don't know what his end goal was. I have thought that he was like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for these Americans, and I'm gonna go out because when we're in the shaman tent, or when we're in the tent right after the shaman, he says that his family's dead.
That's right. Where's your family? Dead.
Good accent.
Thank you.
Great impression on that one.
I'm really working on my accent work.
He says dead, and then he just leaves.
Yep.
He leaves these poor, naive white people to just sit in the stink of the question they asked him.
Where do you think they are?
I'm out here by myself and I'm 14.
Do you think my parents would let me go hunt a giant crocodile? They might. I don't know.
Yeah, take a wild guess, guys.
So I have a question. Is Swahili French? Are those like similar?
No, Swahili's traditional African language.
So, okay, at the beginning, they
do speak French.
Yeah, because they're like, well, how many bodies? He's like, I don't know. Let me see. And he counts to like 9. He's like, maybe 10. Mm-hmm. But he counts like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10.
So I
don't know.
I believe this is a colonization thing.
Okay.
I don't know about that region because, like I said, I don't know fuck about geography. But my assumption there is that the people who either taught them any language other than Swahili, like the people who taught them French, were French people.
Yeah, fair
also,
enough.
Haitians speak French, so it's like more of a common colonization-based language than I think.
I got you, because I was like, this guy, he speaks about as much French as I do. I can get to 9, and then it's just like, yeah, maybe 10. I don't know.
You switch back and try to put the accent on?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. Amazing. Dig them up. You got the shovels?
Count.
That was my question because I wasn't sure if those two were related.
Yeah. I don't really know for sure, but I'm sure it has something to do with maybe missionaries, you know?
Probably.
The fucking crocodile attacks the cage with Jojo in it, and he gets knocked back. And here's where I get pissed.
Okay.
It's explained earlier in the movie that this is like a raccoon trap. It's a weighted floor that's got a weighted bottom. And the crocodile's going to come in, and he's going to fucking put his weight down while he's eating this goat, and that's what shuts the door of the cage. Mm-hmm. So naturally, this 90-pound boy falling over is going to activate that weight plate for the 4-ton animal.
You would think.
Explain that shit promptly to me.
Oh, wait. Oh, you would. I'm on the other side of the fence.
No, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's a giant lizard, and this guy just like stumbles back, and it shuts the door. How sensitive is that fucking weight plate? Who put the goat in there without shutting the door on themselves?
You're poking holes in this movie that is Swiss cheese.
Now...
All right. Now it's not even cheese at this point. It's just dairy webbing.
So here's the extra reason why I'm pissed off.
Yeah, lay it on me.
They did that entirely in service of furthering the plot in order to get somebody in the water in danger. Because right after that door shuts, fucking Gustav shows up and goes, fuck this cage, and knocks that shit right into the river.
Yeah, with like zero effort. This is like a Tremors 2.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
About the quality of like the Tremors 2 cage. he bats that in there with ease.
Yeah.
So I think if he was to be in there, one like crocodile power roll and that thing's coming apart.
Yeah, no, he's out of there as soon as he gets in.
Yeah.
And as easily.
He treated it as if it was like a soccer ball. It's just like
he's blowing the dandelion seeds off of the plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we have a shot of the cage 2/3 submerged.
Yes.
And JoJo's head is in it. And they're like, oh, fuck. We gotta get fucking JoJo out. And then we cut back. It's underwater. And he's drowned.
Well, the thing is because I guess somebody gave a shit, but was it Matt? He just like, well, fuck this, and heaves a grenade in there.
Yeah, he sure does. I don't give a shit about that kid anymore.
Yeah, well, let's
just blow the crocodile right up.
One grenade, that ought to do.
So that's Jacob doing that. And then Matt stops him from throwing another one. And he promptly gets punched in the face for his troubles.
He sure does.
For trying to save a young boy from this murderous fucking man who lives in a hut in the woods.
Yeah, but grenades.
I mean, they're fun. They're probably fun to throw in the water, to be honest.
Hey, that's a great way to fish.
I didn't like that we didn't get to see the cage sink fully. We just cut back from Dominic Purcell's face to a fully sunken cage.
Yeah. The levels of this water are very interesting in the way that when they pull JoJo out of the cage,
they're like waist deep.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to lose like a huge ass crocodile in ankle deep water like that.
Yeah.
But it slithers away and is not seen again.
It sure does happen a couple of times.
Yeah. It must be a fluctuating water level. It must be a sandbar
or a couple.
And a sandbar to sandbar.
Yeah, he just naturally knows where they are despite the fact he can't see under this murky water.
There you go.
He just knows the territory that well. This crocodile who's dumb as fuck. Crocodiles have 2 modes: eat, sleep.
And bury yourself in mud, apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes they do that.
It does that one time.
I'm sure. Well, I've heard that it's like a something they do to cool off. So it's like a somewhat real thing.
Okay.
But, oh boy, do they fuck up crocodiles in this movie. But I'll get to that. What I want to talk about right now is Tim jumps in to save JoJo from this fucking cage that's sinking and has no trouble whatsoever opening the door to that cage. He does it with one hand underwater in 10 seconds.
Oh, boy. Well...
What was your plan once the crocodile got in there? Let him back out right away?
I think what they were going to do is just hope that the crocodile didn't have like Houdini training.
Oh, my God.
He couldn't pick the locks as gracefully as
what lock? There wasn't one.
The croc lock.
The croc lock.
Yeah.
What is that? The honor system?
Yeah, I promise. You better promise you're not going to back out of here, crocodile. And
you'd better not swing your tail lightly at this door to open it.
Maybe crocodiles can't walk backwards.
Like cows, and how they can't walk downward.
Sure, yeah.
One time for a senior prank in high school, the idea was to bring a cow in, walk it up the stairs to the top floor of the high school because they can't walk downhill.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like airlift it out. Not airlift it, but like break a window and grab a forklift or something.
Or kill it.
And then, I mean, that's a science experiment.
Yeah, you know which one's cheaper? you know which of these options is cheaper and the faster one?
Let me guess.
Get me a tarp and a bullet. No. Give me a tarp, and I want that air compressor.
You want that air gun from fucking No Country for Old Men?
Oh, man.
It just fires a steel rod in and sucks it back out again.
Fuck, that is an efficient tool.
It sure is.
That's a good movie.
It fucking, oh my God, is it ever? You know what's not?
What's not?
Primeval.
You want to just do the rest of this movie about No Country for Old Men?
I could talk for fucking 8 hours about No Country for Old Men.
Well, it's a 2-hour movie. It's gonna take us at least 3 hours to talk about it.
I was mad that Jacob telegraphed the fact that he was going to kill this thing from the second they meet him, and nobody picked up on that. But Matt.
Yeah, they weren't like, okay, you can't come now.
Yeah, he's loading up guns like he's in the Matrix, and nobody bats an eye at that.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole beginning of his intro is like him stepping out of that white room with all the guns on the racks.
All of the guns and bones of animals he's killed.
So here's the thing, like, cool, you're gonna capture this alligator or crocodile or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then what? Put it in a zoo where it's gonna fucking escape?
How are you gonna transport that thing anywhere at all, literally?
Exactly. You've seen every Halloween movie. You can't transport Michael Myers. Every Halloween movie starts with them trying to bring him to a different hospital.
Yeah, and what does he do?
Hey, guess what?
Not this time.
Yeah, something caused an accident. I'm out of here.
Every single time. And like what? You're just gonna grab? I don't know if there's like you'd have to get a fucking like military grade industrial chopper to lift that thing up.
Oh yeah, you would. But like it's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
We don't. This should be dead.
You ever see King Kong? It breaks free of those chains.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be King Kong, but lower to. It'd be like a homing missile. It would just be a thing.
You're essentially doing the Sieg Heil, but like at waist height instead.
It's like
it's a trepidatious Hail Hitler. It's like a maybe Hail Hitler?
I'm showing how fast it would go by just like shooting my arm out. This is the crocodile. It's got the thumb. There's the thumb as the jaw.
We're straight up doing open like fuck a dog silhouette mouth with his hand right now.
I'm trying to explain that it would be a destructive force.
Yeah, it would.
Much like King Kong, but lower to the ground and probably faster.
I would argue faster, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no Hitler involved. You always got to bring Hitler into everything.
Well, I see a flat, outstretched palm face down. Pardon my PTSD from years of oppression.
Well,
speaking of Primeval.
All right, where are we in the film? What's Gustav up to? He's fucked off. He's fucked off, and they've pulled Jojo out.
Right off, yeah.
They're in knee-deep water.
Yeah, and they save his ass from drowning.
Yeah, thank God. Just thank God for them. So now, I think he just like takes off, right?
Yeah.
He just peels ass out of there.
It's like, peace. Yep. Guys, that was enough for me.
And then that's that. That's the end of the movie right there. No. And yeah, and then some stuff happens.
Yeah, some stuff. We get I don't remember what happens between here and daytime when Orlando Jones is just filming B-roll.
There's at some point they escape and they're on like a little boat and they get to like a dock.
That's way later.
Yeah. I must have really let this movie happen to me because that's like
the what happens before that is the beheading.
Oh, right.
Orlando Jones, Steven, is out filming zebras.
Okay, so you know what happens? It's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It goes from night to day and nobody cares.
Yeah.
The crocodile's gone. He's never coming back.
We try again.
Yeah.
We try again later. There is a point where Matt leaves and Jacob's like, where are you going? And Matt goes, well, he's not going to be back tonight.
Yeah, exactly. You know how crocodiles are. they have things to do.
So we get fucking Steven out here in the brush. Just trying to spice up this story for when they get back to the States. Yeah. And he happens upon a murder.
Well, not just a murder. Mm-hmm. He happens upon a beheading video in the making.
Oh, well, he makes it himself.
Yeah. So thanks for tricking me into that. I wasn't ready to watch a beheading video this morning.
So the person being beheaded is the shaman, his wife, and child. Yeah. So I wrote down, in this movie, you get an execution-style murder of a family, woman and child, cut to dick and weed jokes. Because earlier in this film, Steven goes, oh, it's Gustav, and scares everybody. Then he sticks his hands down his pants, pulls his hand out of his zipper, and pretends like Gustav is his own dick.
Like I said, he really carried this film.
Oh, did he? He's the best part.
There should be a montage on YouTube somewhere of just, here's all the best parts. Yeah. And it's just that.
So he witnesses this murder, films it, brings the footage back to the tent. Mm-hmm. And then again, Dark Timeline, Steve Irwin goes, I don't care about that.
You know what's weird is that when they like looked at the video, they didn't go, hey, this guy right here, wasn't he the fella who hooked us up with the boat?
Isn't that weird indeed?
Isn't this because I didn't, and then I did afterwards. Yeah. But like, they should know. They just met the man.
Uh-huh. And he's like the only skinny one in this entire militia. Because the main militia guy who ends up getting into a drowning fight later on is like super fat jacked.
Yeah, he is.
And then the other guy gets trucked against a tree, so he doesn't matter.
The guy who was on the gun too. He was,
yeah. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. He just gets fucking kicked off and split in half basically by a tree trunk.
Oh my God.
It was like Kelly Rowland in Freddy vs. Jason. That was my first thought.
Oh,
anyway,
shit.
Orlando Jones is like, this is a big problem, isn't it? I just caught a fucking straight up murder on film.
Oopsies.
And Tim wants to take it back. Tim goes, okay, this is our story now. We take this back to the States and we let everybody know. And then fucking Steven goes, black people? They don't care about us.
Yeah.
And then Matt goes, you're right. It's not our business.
Oh, yeah. They literally are just like, nah.
This happens every day out here. Who cares, really?
That's like the whole point, too, is they say that more than one time in this
film. A bunch
film.
of times
they make the point of like they were really the crocodiles, the news, film, everything around it, but it's gonna be cutting room floor. Yeah,
the much more important story than the big fucking walking snake in the water. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that.
Put that beheading video on Live Leak and let's get back to this crocodile. Jesus Christ!
I gotta be ready for 7 when grandparents are watching. It's so hard to fucking progress through this because it's like so nothing.
Yep.
And like not the movie to have a political stance about what's happening in Africa.
Oh, you know what happens in between the day and the night?
What?
Oh no.
Oh, that's after.
It's after?
Yeah, because the whole point is that was filmed. And then the military people who are guarding them are like,
okay, so
they
later
get on the walkies.
Later that night. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it gets weird. The soldier kicks a dog.
Some bad things happen. So I thought that's where I thought that dog went. That dog's name, by the way, is Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, so yeah, at some point, Avion comes back to the little camp setup.
Aviary.
And she interrupts a soldier who has just robbed them, then turns around and kicks the dog.
Yeah.
Like, that's something you do beforehand to silence the dog. Yeah. You don't let it sit there and bark at you and then go, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Better get this problem out of the way too late.
Obviously, this soldier kicked that dog so hard, it disappeared.
Yeah.
He probably punted it a couple football fields.
And that's how long it took him to get back.
Yeah.
The whole airplane. This guy gets caught doing bad things.
Yeah, he makes it very weird.
By poor Aviva. And then he decides, like, well, since I'm here, I'd rather take my penis out and make good use of this woman.
As that happens...
Well, we find out that Gustav is the hero of this movie, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we do.
Because that motherfucker shows up and chomps that guy before he gets a chance to do anything with that Peter.
Yeah, this huge crocodile silently moves.
Yeah, with no noise whatsoever.
Like, makes its way into the tent, just like pokes its little beak in there.
Its beak.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, no!
Well, I better, nom, 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 nom. And he just goes full Cookie Monster on this guy.
You gotta draw the line somewhere, dude. I'll eat children, I won't eat dogs, and I will prioritize rapists over victims.
Boom. This crocodile, you know what?
He's got the right idea.
And it's probably best in the end they just left him alive anyway. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, they really just go, well, Africa, we're gone.
I want to, as a matter of fact, point out that nobody in this movie, after this almost rape occurs, mentions the almost rape, not even Aviva. She gets covered in blood as her assailant is mauled to death by a giant crocodile and then rescued when everybody else returns to the shredded campsite.
Yeah, she says she didn't even mention it then.
She says nothing at all about what happened.
My God.
You just get to see a dismembered leg and they go, "Oh, well, that's horrible." At that point, I would be like, "You know what's worse that just happened to me?"
But wait. There's more.
And it's all bad.
Turns out, so then another guy comes in and he gets the upper hand at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the second one of their protectors.
Yeah, he gets them all on their knees, and then Jojo comes out of nowhere with the gun. He's like, I'm really going to earn my trip to America.
He does.
This one that nobody's agreed to take me on. And just shoots the guy in the head, basically making them an offer they can't refuse. Now they have to.
They sure do.
Well,
you're staring down a gun in your face, and you know you're going to die, and then the guy saves you? All right, well, you're coming with me no matter what.
Well, then, no matter what, Steven says he's going to shove him up his ass.
Yeah.
If that's how
I don't care if I have to shove you up my ass to get you to America.
Well, that's commitment.
It sure is.
That's gratitude. That's what gratitude sounds like.
I would feel the exact same way.
Oh, yeah.
You straight up saved me from a gunshot to the head.
I'll take you to a place that's probably worse than this place, to be honest.
For you Jojo.
You ready to find out what's worse than giant crocodiles? Let's go to America.
Immigrating.
Yeah, come.
Fuck's sake.
Yep.
Now, I was mad about that scene.
Okay.
I'm going to point out why I was mad about that scene. It's one guy with one gun, and you have Jacob has been shot by this man, so he's a little bit incapacitated.
Absolutely.
Aviva's got PTSD, but I mean, I imagine her mouth still works, so bite the dick off. My point being, you can't even... Steven goes, I'm going to make my move, and Tim, the jacked man, goes, you shouldn't. How can the two of you not overpower one small guy with a gun? Just surprise him.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to point and aim a fucking automatic assault rifle with any accuracy whatsoever?
Yeah, just wait for 1 second for him to be like, oh, is there a sound?
Yeah, he's going to yawn eventually.
Yeah, the dude blinks. He's a human.
Yeah. Get on that shit. Save your life. They really tried not at all to save themselves.
No.
They were just going to take their high caliber medicine out there by the river.
That was that. Yeah, and well, at least somebody had the common sense to do it by the river too.
Yeah, right? So that, the crocodile has food. We need to feed him.
But yeah, it doesn't happen because Jojo comes in with like some gun that he brings 5 bullets for.
And you idiot. Fill your pockets. If you have access, get that belt that Rambo wears.
That was probably all the bullets the village had. They just like
that was the only gun and bullets.
Pull the bullets.
Jojo takes the bullets out to fix these guys' little red wagon. Yeah. Meanwhile, the village is just left defenseless. That's why he wants to come to America. Oh, well, everybody's probably dead when I go home.
Well, yeah, the rifle's gone.
And then we get Jacob, who seemingly is on his last legs here because he's been shot in the stomach. They try to drum up emotion by talking about how, the reason why I want to kill this crocodile is because it ate my wife.
Yes.
Jojo's whole family is dead. I think some people have some bigger problems around you.
Fucking white people.
Like, Jesus Christ. It ain't about you out here.
Oh, my God.
And, it's fucking Dominic Purcell, and I don't know Aviva's shitheaded name. I never wrote it down. But, they're just like, oh, that's so unfortunate. That sucks. What about Jojo's dead fucking family?
Oh, it's so sad your wife's gone. Jojo, what do you think about that? You not what? You not sad for this guy? He lost his wife.
I watched that happen 13 times yesterday.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's that
We just lost our shaman.
Oh, fuck. They're lost. Yep. Who's going to have dry skin?
You're not going to get fucking any blessings from goddamn Kimura whole chokehold or whatever the demon's name is.
Very, very culturally appropriate. Thank you. Keeping it nice and
I can't remember his shithead name.
I can't either, so I'm not going to say anything. But at some point they cut to day and is it cut to day? I don't even fucking remember.
They do make it to this. Oh, right, because the helicopter.
Yeah. So now they're on this gazebo in the middle of a pond.
Yeah.
For some reason, they chose to hide.
This is their LZ, all right?
This is their.
So they hook up the fucking sat phone, and they're bitching at Roger like, okay, people are fucking dying left and right out here, like we knew was going to happen. Get us out, please.
Yeah, Roger, we just chose to hide in the fucking thing that's 2 feet above where the monster's hiding.
Yeah.
Because
it's raining, and that's the shelter. I don't want to get wet, despite the fact I was just in the water all night.
But there's a whole bridge built. This is totally like a gazebo on the water that was.
It's like you go to fucking vacation in the Bahamas, and that's where you stay.
Yeah, and then at some point, it's fucking. There's Gustav. He shows up.
Here's what pisses me right off.
Yeah,
that fucking crocodile somehow goes, oh, here's the support beams. I'll hit those.
Smart croc.
Yeah, apparently this fucking crocodile is the Stephen Hawking of crocodiles.
He's been around for hundreds of years. What do you expect?
Yeah,
he's knocked over a couple gazebos in his day.
He's encountered a lot of fucking oceanside bungalows in his life. He knows exactly where the support beams are.
You live a life when you live that long.
Now,
what can he say?
I need to emphasize that he's not just attacking whatever. There are 3 separate shots where he deliberately goes after the things holding up the hut. Good. He bites one, he tails another one. Fuck you.
Smart crocodile.
There's no way.
At this point, I'm rooting for the crocodile.
My suspension of disbelief only goes so far.
All right. Well, I liked the whole Indiana Jones scene where like the fucking makeshift bridge keeps collapsing and somebody's running along it. But there's no boulder. It's just a huge crocodile. It's just like
it is
trying to eat them.
Yeah. And the fucking, like the slats are just going every which way.
Yeah.
As if this thing is a goddamn locomotive.
And it's just, there's so many scenes where they outrun a crocodile, and they really shouldn't have.
Oh, well, there are also some scenes where
they do not. Yes, of course.
Bad things happen.
So the croc just ruins this hut.
Yeah.
And then Jacob pulls out a grenade, and he's like, "Look, if it's gonna eat me, better grenade. I gotta get this grenade. I'm gonna grenade it." And so the croc bites him and just heaves him, just chucks him elsewhere.
My problem with this, all right?
Yep.
That grenade lands and explodes right where that fucking crocodile is.
It does.
And what happens to the crocodile?
Well, it avoids it. It avoids the explosion. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, what's that plunk? It's like U-571, tap the charges. And he knew. He knew to get away.
Oh, yeah, totally.
How could he possibly have not bitten that thing that splashed into the water when splashing is so fucking important?
Yeah, they make a big thing.
They go, don't splash. You'll wake him.
Yeah, they figured that out for a second, and then all of a sudden it doesn't matter.
So after Jacob gets chomped right up into the air and thrown, we cut to black again, and it's daytime. And they have just been on this dock the whole time.
And we get Steven saying, "I feel like a pork chop on Queen Latifah's dinner plate." I understand that feeling. That's the feeling right there.
She looks like a very hungry woman is the point. Matt is speaking in Latin in order to keep himself awake for some reason. And then Steven goes, "What are you doing, praying to Satan?" Just throws that right out. It's like, fuck yeah, I am. God's obviously not in this country.
That's Latin for you.
It's just Satan no matter what.
Every sentence you say in Latin is whispered in Satan's ear. That's why we don't speak it anymore.
So, earlier in this movie, a tranquilizer dart was shot into this crocodile.
I guess.
Somehow.
Sure.
Through the water. And they have a GPS tracking device now attached to it that they're reading like a fucking spectrometer.
Yeah, they're watching a dot, and they're like, well, he's not moving. Yeah. As if this crocodile's got things to do. Like he's a busy crocodile, just like, fuck, I gotta zip over here to the store real quick. No, he's floating in the water because he's not in the mood to eat.
Yeah,
yet.
Exactly. And this is the point I'm going to bring up. They've been staying on this dock the whole time because they're afraid to get in the water because they don't want to get eaten by this crocodile. Mm-hmm. They just watched him eat a whole man. I don't know how much you know about crocodiles. They can go several months without eating, number one.
I did not know that.
Number two, they eat very large quantities at once, and it takes them days to digest it. During that time, they're mostly sleeping. At any point during that night, you could have hopped over to the shore that's 15 feet away.
Probably.
Instead of, and like for no reason, they just decide they're going to do it now.
And all of a sudden, hey, don't splash. That's what does it. In this knee-deep water, the splashing.
In the knee-deep water, where if there was a crocodile nearby, you would see that shit.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And like, so
that's more egregious than a shark fin.
This fucking helicopter comes by and they're like, oh, well, that's Roger. Thank God. And it like wings by, does not even look at the wreckage.
It has a zone to land. It's going for the landing zone where the shitty tent is that's been destroyed.
I see. I figured he was just like, I don't see him. All right.
Peace.
But they like go to land and then somebody shoots a rocket at it and they're just like, fuck Africa. I'm gone. And they just take off.
This was the worst trip. I'll see you guys in hell.
You called me out here for this? I only got so much gasoline.
Matt Collins gets exactly what he deserves. Now, the other reason why I called him Dark Timeline Steve Irwin is that at the beginning, he's presented as an expert in this field.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't know goddamn crocodile digestion period, which is pertinent information in this life or death situation.
I don't think anybody had crocodile knowledge. Nobody spat one croco fact.
That motherfucker
time.
on the TV when they're flying in has like a small alligator in his hand. And it's like, okay, well that's probably the same, right?
He just like smooches it on the head.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You pick it up, you smooch it. That's that.
Yeah. Well,
crocodile facts.
This is the guy. We need this guy for this expedition.
Just fucking smooching crocodiles.
While they are, before they get to a helicopter, while they're traveling back to shore, Steven once again interrupts a conversation about something completely different in order to ask Aviva, this is why they're still on the dock, whether or not she's getting plowed by Roger. And then this is where you find out that Roger is indeed gay.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's just what happens.
Yeah, they kind of debate his sexuality there for a bit, don't they?
And then she goes, don't tell anyone. And Steven's like, who am I going to tell? Hey, Jojo, Roger's gay. And Jojo goes, okay.
That's not okay, but...
They treat gayness in this movie like it's like a fun joke. And then Jojo's probably in his head like, I was taught different.
Yeesh, wouldn't want to be there.
Boo. I definitely wrote down the fact that the water's fucking waist high, and they're worried about a crocodile that's hidden, despite the fact that it's the size of a fucking Mack truck.
Right, and also they're like, how are we gonna get there? And Jojo pulls out 4 bullets, and he's like, you brought 4, or no. Oh, so this is later. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. After the chopper gets shot at by rockets, they're
Matt Collins gets trucked.
That's literally what I wrote. He gets trucked.
He gets trucked so good, and then they decide that's not good enough, and they light his ass up.
They put so many holes in him that he wouldn't have any wind resistance.
He's aerodynamic as fuck now.
And then they do this interesting thing where they just walk around shooting their guns just in case there's people in the grass.
Yeah.
But there are people in the grass.
So my problem here is you're in Africa and there's nothing for miles. How many bullets you got? You're going to be there all day just taking pot shots at the dirt?
Yeah, just walk around. Just look with your eyes.
And these fucking idiots, these stupid fucks, get up and run.
Like champs they do.
How about this? Just stay hidden. The chances that you're going to get plugged are so fucking low. He'd probably hit an elephant before he hit them.
Before they run, Jojo pulls out like 4 bullets, and I think it's Steven's like, hey, what are you, Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yeah, like he's going to get that reference.
Yeah, like anybody at all is old enough to get that reference at this point. For anybody watching, he shot JFK. Yeah. Very good shot.
It was a president once who got assassinated.
Yeah. Very long time ago. And so that's the joke, that he's going to be very good shot with the bullets.
Yeah, he had better be.
For anybody who watched it and went, what? That's that. Don't Google it.
Lee Harvey Oswald sounds like a fucking... Who has 3 first names is all I'm saying.
People who shoot the fucking president in the head.
It's Lee Harvey Oswald and Jackie Earl Haley, and that's it.
What about the kid who sees dead people?
Oh, what's his shitheaded name? What's his big pie-faced name?
That boy.
Haley Joel Osment. Osment's not a first name.
All right. I'll give you that.
Nice try, though.
I tried. I did try.
So, yeah, we're... like fucking Scooby-Doo, these idiots split up.
Yep.
Where we'll cover more ground that way, escaping this AK-47 fire.
And rockets.
Just as well.
Ducking rockets that are exploding casually in front of them. No shrapnel. Just like, oh, my ears
10
are
feet
ringing.
in front of you. Oh, that was... it knocked me down.
I got blood on my blouse.
Oh, jeez.
Where's the fucking crocodile?
At this point, where's the crocodile, period?
That's what I wrote. They're dodging rockets. Where's the crocodile?
The most noise in all of Africa is being made right now.
Oh, I don't even care about that. Where's the crocodile?
Yeah, you think he would go to where the noise is.
No, I don't even care about... This is a crocodile movie. I don't care. Bring in the crocodile.
You're so far past everything that's going on in the movie. Where's the crocodile? Period. Point blank.
Yeah, the crocodile should be here. This is a crocodile movie, not a rocket getting shot at white people movie. Bring in the crocodile. I want to see people get munched.
Yeah.
That's what this has been about.
So far, it's happened how many? Twice. And we're 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Oh, we're almost, we're there. We're getting there.
So as we're running away, we got fucking rocket launcher on the back. Number one, so stupid idea. They hop into these militia guys hop back into the truck in order to chase these guys down. And we got asshole on the back with a rocket launcher and a fucking assault rifle as if he's going to hit anything from the back of this truck rocking around through the brush of the African fucking tundra here.
He's got gusto. I'll give him that.
You're not gonna you're never gonna be able to hit anything off of the back of a moving vehicle on the road.
No.
Don't even try. You might as well just try and run him over.
Yeah, hey, you know what? He does hit him though.
Well, they take a wrong turn at Albuquerque, right down a ditch, and then that motherfucker flies right off. Yeah, he gets one lucky hit off on into Jojo's shoulder. He
pops Jojo, and then the guy just is so pleased he doesn't look at the road. He's just like, yeah, we shot him, looking out the window, just like, ha ha ha.
And then they tremors to it right off a hill.
Oh, right off the hill. And I don't know, the guy with the gun just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
He flew off the back and smoked a tree.
I missed that. I missed that part because I thought he went in the water, and then I saw the other guy trying to drown him, and I'm like, well, what's this about?
Jojo's the one who went in the water.
Ah, poor Jojo.
Yeah, isn't that he really gets a bum rap for most of this movie.
He does.
He's just trying to help.
I mean, he gets out in the end. That's so good for him.
With a shitty shoulder sling. I just learned how to wrap those in first aid last week.
Nice. I'll get you to do me later. I don't have like a broken shoulder, but I would like that just in case.
You would just like me to do you later? Because that's what you said.
Yes, it's got nothing to do with the shoulder sling. I want you to do me till you break it.
Jesus.
So they split up.
Yeah.
And Steven, he fucking drops his camera directly into the water.
Yeah. And then what does he do with it?
Well, he fucking leaves it.
He picks it right the fuck back up, man.
Not in the shot, he doesn't.
Ah, good.
But
let me guess.
He picks it back up like why? Why are you? It's in the water. You've ruined it.
That's what I was getting. I wrote down right here. That's the most waterproof camera on the market.
Abandon it. It's only slowing you down.
Yeah, when you're out to save your life. This is another thing too. Like Huffington Post never has footage of the stories that they're writing. You just read the words and go, "Wow, that's fucked." You don't need to keep the footage. You're being chased and murdered because of the footage. Guess what? Have it.
Yeah, I'd rather GTFO.
I got it right up here in the old crane.
Yeah.
I'll just tell people about it.
I'll paint a picture with words.
Dear God. I don't need the film.
Yeah, so this fucking Steven's running around, takes all of a snake for him to go, I hate Africa.
A snake, and he got stabbed by like a thorn.
Yeah, all of the things that happened up until then, but now it's the snake that really fucking broke the camel's back.
And then he's walking through the fucking water and he goes, slavery's okay. Anything that you got to do to get the fuck out of Africa is okay with me.
Yeah, I didn't want to write that one down. Again, I didn't want this to be found later and like this will be like, holy moly, what kind of weird journal is this?
So while this is happening, Jojo, who is in the water, begins to become drowned by a man who's yelling at him while he's drowning him as if he can hear him. And then Aviva picks up the gun, which is in the water, puts a bullet in it, and shoots him.
Hey, maybe it works like that. It doesn't, but it might.
That gun is wetter than any fucking gun that's ever been wet.
It's also like Jojo's old gun.
Yeah, his dirty old.
It's like the village gun.
Yeah.
Whom he had the bullets. He had the bullets for it. So.
Yeah. Where were those? You just fished around in the water till you felt something that felt like a bullet?
I guess so.
What if it was a poison frog?
What if?
I would rather that.
What if it was a gator tooth?
What if, yeah, right, as it closed around you.
Yeah,
wouldn't you have preferred that?
One big crocodile, many little gators. What are you going to do?
And we got fucking, so That happens around the time that Tim decides that he's going to try and fight this giant man as well, and it doesn't go so well for him.
No.
Kind of annoyed by that because obviously Tim is quite muscular.
He is. Yeah, he's. You would think that like he would have some sort of ability.
He puts all of the effort of one tackle into saving his own life.
Yeah. And at this point, I again ask, where is the crocodile with all the splashing?
In the water.
Yeah.
That's roughly knee-high, which we've established he's just fine with.
Yeah, and so there's just all this splashing. I'm just wondering, like, is the crocodile on its way?
Oh, because the splashing is the thing that they were told not to do because it would attract a crocodile.
Yeah, that, and also, where's the fucking crocodile? I don't care about this action adventure fight scene.
I feel like I owe you an apology because of where's the crocodile.
No, it's okay. The crocodile does show up, and that's cool.
In my defense, I fucking forgot how little crocodile there was.
It's all right. It's all right.
All I remembered really was Steven walking. And okay, let's talk about this for a second. At what point during these 5 minutes of time did Steven get so far away from everyone that while his name is being yelled, he can't hear shit?
Dude, he ran.
It's dead silent, and he's wading through this knee-deep water.
Steven saw trouble, and he took off and didn't bother to stay on land. I don't understand what... Like, if I was being chased by a crocodile.
Right, you'd want to get as far away from water as possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait around in it.
Yeah, that stands to reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
I, as a matter of fact, wrote down, why the fuck are you still in water?
Yeah, you've got boots on. That's going to be uncomfortable to walk in.
You're going to give yourself trench foot, and that's the least of your concerns.
Hey, trench foot is real bad. One time, trench foot claimed my dad. I wrote a poem about trench foot in like grade 11 for a class project.
That was it?
Well, no, and then it went like something rotting, stinky flesh. Oh, John's foot has an awful stench. Something like that. It rhymed.
I appreciate the effort that Child Matt went to in order to write a poem about trench foot.
I think it was for Remembrance Day. I think we had to write something about World War II.
Well, that was the most important part.
Yeah.
The gangrene. Beware
of the trench foot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's what you're going to get.
Listen, take your socks off and turn them inside out. So, during this time where Steven is by himself walking through water like a fucking retard, he can't really see all that well because of all the reeds. So he pulls out the old video camera he somehow still has. Yep. As if that'll help at all.
Ain't waterlogged, that's for sure.
Yeah, the viewfinder still works just view fine.
Functioning fully.
Yeah, and what he sees is immediately a crocodile.
Yeah,
now,
interesting.
During this scene, there's a part where, because he cut his arm on the thorn, he sees blood drip into the water.
Right.
So what they're trying to imply is that this crocodile came because of the blood. Not because of the panicked individuals thrashing around in his house. And if that were the case, he's been bleeding the whole time he was walking. The crocodile just noticed.
Oh, maybe it took him a bit to catch up?
Yeah, you think so? Because in the next scene, a very athletic black man can't outrun this crocodile.
Look, I'm trying to make it a good movie. I'm trying to make it a good experience.
My favorite crocodile related part of this movie is watching this idiot bumble through the reeds like a fat fish.
Yeah.
This crocodile, when it runs, is hilarious.
It jams its head into like between two trees and gets stuck.
Yeah.
And then Steven just laughs in its face.
And gives it the finger.
I just keep running.
You have to have stainless fucking steel cast iron nuts to look that mouth in the face and do this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tell people you did it later and
you run. Don't have to do it.
Nobody's gonna, you outran a crocodile and gave it the finger? Oh, dude, hell yeah.
And like he begins to saunter away as if this rickety, dry African tree is going to stop this crocodile.
This is the end of every Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, he's done? We're good. Let's walk.
We stuck him between two trees. Job's done. I just kissed my wrist because, when your job's done, you kiss your wrist.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, wrist kissers.
First I've ever fucking heard of it.
I don't.
I said Steven has the biggest set of Victorian era door knockers.
just clacking together.
Yeah, I really wanted to have that in there.
Oh, so
the whole time he's hiding from the fucking and like that Lee Harvey Oswald joke that happens like while there are people trying to find and shoot them to death.
He's quick.
He's got a sense of humor in the most dire of situations.
So at some point the guy shows up, little gusty.
Before that.
Before that.
I just want to point out.
Okay.
Steven, you don't get to see Steven get chomped. It just fades out in slow motion while he's running away.
That's true.
Fuck you for making me wait this long to see Crocodile and not getting a single payoff.
Yeah.
Also, you idiot, find a big tree and climb it. You know what can't climb trees?
I would say probably fat old alligators.
100% of the time. What's he gonna do? Worst case scenario, he circles you for a bit, and then something else louder happens inevitably.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Nah,
I'm gonna run straight through flat ground and hope for the best.
Yeah, this thing that is huge, it's 25 feet.
Yeah.
It's like a limousine.
It takes one step and it's already past a car.
Yeah, exactly. It for every one of his steps, this guy's taken 10. So why are you running? Just jump on its back. At that point, you might as well jump on its back.
Just ride it.
So he gets chomped.
Yeah, we're trying to take care of Jojo. We're concerned because he's getting pretty tired and going in and out of consciousness. Trying to get back to safety with Tim and Aviva.
Yeah, here comes
who pulls up?
Rescue. It's little Gusty, the rescue guy. They figure it out that he's the little Gusty. What's his name? Harrington? Harry.
They don't figure out that he's not quite Harry until Tim is getting in the back of his truck and notices the shaman's tooth necklace on the rearview mirror. First of all, Harry, you're not even trying to hide the fact that you're fucking a murderer, number one. Number two, how did you know where we were, Harry? I'm calling into question the fact that you're even here before you get out of your vehicle.
Yup. But hey.
Instead, no, it's Harry! Everybody, Harry, he mysteriously showed up with a guy who looks exactly like the two guys who just tried to kill us.
He doesn't have any ulterior motives or anything.
Can't possibly. Nah. Also, why is he so concerned with the computer?
Well, it's because he's been photographed in a compromising position.
That's pretty weird.
It's not him clapping cheeks. It's him beheading cheeks.
Yeah, well, he's clapping them. It's just with a machete.
Different cheeks, different clap.
Yeah. Before he even admits to the fact that he's little Gustav, though, he's like, "Where's that computer? I sure wish you guys had that computer. Let's go find that computer, though."
Was that a Dell or an Apple?
Oh,
that's the only computer questions I got.
I really like Intel processors.
Let's go find yours.
Right away. Hey, man. Why do you care about the computer so much when there's a kid shot right in front of you? Maybe I don't want to get in the back of your car.
He's trying to download Kazaa so he can get the latest Simpsons episodes.
I knew it.
That's what he wants.
They don't have a whole lot of entertainment that's not like whacking two chicken heads together back there.
So, Tim tricks him into thinking that this tracer that's been tracing the crocodile is his laptop.
A tracer for the laptop that contains all the important footage.
He sends him off with one of his goons. Mm-hmm. They go into like the crocodile's house to find a half-eaten Steven.
Yeah.
Because I guess he's
unfortunate.
Saving that for later.
Well, Steven's a big guy.
And then
Uber Eats is fucking expensive, right?
It is.
And he had to run to get it.
And it's you know what, to be honest though, like when you go out and get it, you have it's just less. There's no delivery fee.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is just go out and get your food. Mm-hmm. Just walk.
And you get enough for a couple days.
Yeah, exactly. It's an adventure. Grocery stores are dying. So yeah, and then he gets stabbed because he finds a knife somewhere in this pile of bones. And then little Gusty gets wise. He comes in, and then I think regular Gusty meets little Gusty. And
during this scene, all right, you're trying to make this over fucking hard.
I'm just going through my notes here. I did not write many.
During this time where Tim somehow just finds a knife in a pile of bones and stabs the guy whose job it is to shoot him if he does anything fucking silly.
Bad job.
Little Gustav notices that there's some screaming when he gets stabbed. At which point, Aviva, who now has the jar of pheromones,
from somewhere, she just had them.
They bring it because it's liquor. Lil Gustav goes, yeah, that's how long that pause needed to last. Lil Gustav goes, what's that in that jug? And Tim goes, it's moonshine. Do you mind? I'm a little nervous.
I missed that part of the movie.
And he goes, all right, go ahead. Do you, playa? And then fucking dude pretends to drink it, even though it's disgusting, obviously. And that's how they convince two killers to let them keep an item.
Oh my God. I completely missed that part. And the fact that they weren't like, yeah, give me a swig too.
Give me a swig. Put that the fuck down. Either of those two options are more likely.
Boom. Gunshot.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's moonshine? I'd like it. Bop.
Yep. They do like make the point of saying that all of these people that Harry has hired are teens on meth.
You know they want that fucking moonshine.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they'd rob you for your watch.
Yeah,
they're amphetamines.
And no, yeah, they do say that. But no, we'll just. I guess they're not alcoholics. They don't touch the sauce down there.
They don't like losing their faculties.
I know for a fucking fact that a lot of African tribes people will just bury fruit because it rots underground. They drink it inside, and then they get drunk as hell. So if you could eliminate the middleman, why would you not just jump at the chance?
Boom. Boom.
So yeah, Aviva fucking drenches poor Lil Gustav in this fucking pheromone moonshine.
Like it's pocket sand.
Yeah, quite like it. And he just screams up a storm.
Well, it's piss. He goes, what's this, piss? Piss!
But it's raining. And you know what washes right off in the rain? Piss.
Does it really?
It doesn't, apparently.
Can you really come clean from piss?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
100%. Dave Chappelle has a joke about it. And like the whole R. Kelly scandal thing. And he's like, fucking, by the age of 14, if I didn't want to get pissed on, I'd move.
Yeah.
Also, piss ain't even that bad. That's one shower. This piss is coming right off.
Oh, God. I remember that one.
So Lil Gustav has a gun.
Yeah, he does.
He realizes that Tim has killed his compadre. So he shoots Tim, and I want to emphasize this, in both legs. At which point, Tim goes, and then stands right up.
He fucking takes a knee for a second and goes, oh, that's not so bad.
Stands up like it ain't nothing.
They missed the knees. Just fucking tendons, that's all.
Because Gustav is in town. And he takes a look at the two hot meals in front of him, and then he smells that piss. And he goes, I'd rather have the piss.
He gets a whiff of that piss.
And he just goes crazy.
10 out of 10 times they go for the piss. It's piss every time. 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
So he goes for the piss meal.
Eats the shit out of little Gustav. And this is kind of one of the best parts of the movie because you get to see his head just get crushed like a grape.
You finally see the gator.
Yeah.
You see the whole gator.
You see some good gator there.
And then you see the gator get hit by a fucking truck. And you think, oh, that's the end of it. And then they just drive off. Yeah. And they don't check to see if the crocodile's dead.
They shithead casually take the boat back to the truck with no urgency whatsoever, making all kinds of waves in the water where the crocodile just was.
Oh, wait, it bites through the back of their truck.
And
that's
then
what it does.
That,
yeah, and he stabs it in the tongue.
Yeah, which is so effective, I'm sure.
Have you
ever bitten your tongue?
I have.
You go, ouch, ooh. Anyway, what was I doing?
Really? Because I need to take a moment. I don't go back to eating. I
sure do.
I got to make sure there's no blood,
Nah, I brush that shit off like a sneeze.
Damn. You got a fucking leather tongue.
You do get to see one single death roll while Gustav is embedded in this truck getting stabbed.
Yep, the only one of this whole crocodile movie.
Most useless and least effective death roll ever.
Yeah, it could have done that at any point when it had like the lady in his mouth. Yep. Or any of the other things.
It would have been cool if he did it while like in a spiral like a Polaris breach when he had Jacob.
Yeah, but
Grenademan.
Hey, here we are.
No, dumb one. And then breaks free of the back of this. During the climax of this fucking movie.
I'm mad too. My book goes.
The car they're driving gets stuck as they're trying to escape Gustav, and Aviva goes, "It can't be stuck. It's a Range Rover."
That's a paid member sponsored paid post by
at the most important part of this movie. Brought to you by the letter R for Range Rover.
#ad.
Oh my God. Raid Shadow Legends, everyone. I just want to take this moment from while I'm escaping for my life to make sure everybody knows I found this great mobile game that you'll love. You fucking assholes.
Hey, come on, get out of here. We got to drive. Hold on, I'm leveling up on Shadow. Raid Shadow Legends.
I don't know how the fuck I get signal out here, but it's spectacular.
Wow. I honestly know nothing about the game, so I'm holding a pretend phone and going, wow.
It's a shitty fucking turn-based goddamn Warcraft 3. Who cares?
You've explained too much.
Yeah.
As soon as you said shitty, I'm like, it's probably shitty.
Yeah, it's shitty. So yeah, the fucking crocodile breaks free of the back of the truck. They speed away. Jojo's somehow in the back intact, despite the fact that he was 2 inches away from a giant crocodile for about 5 minutes, thrashing around.
Yeah, and
And then it yells bye. The crocodile says bye real loud. And then, bop, airplane.
Yeah, well, the dog reappears at some point.
The dog reappears at some point.
Boom, airplane. And they give the dirty dog to Jojo, who's on the plane.
And he goes, we're going to America. I can't imagine anything being worse than what I just experienced. Mm-hmm. Well, buckle up.
Yeah, here we go. First stop, New York City. You're going to learn a new word.
What's that? A guy shitting?
Oh, boy.
It's 8 a.m.
Usually there's a reason for blood. I'm just seeing blood.
Roll credits.
Yeah, for real, though. It wrap up music over good news about African politics.
Yeah.
And then a fisherman gets crocked.
A fisherman gets... I missed that part.
Right at the end, because guess what? It's
still
alive.
Did one of those fucking dumb things.
Yes, it does.
Great. Oh, I do remember seeing... Yeah, he knocks the boat.
And that's the film.
I cared so little about it at that point that I just blocked that shit from my memory like I'm fucking... like getting molested as a child.
As you should.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fucking movie. That is the movie. What are you giving it?
Out of 10, I give this movie a 5.5, and that 0.5 is 100% because of Orlando Jones.
I'm giving it a 6.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't filmed poorly.
I was torn between the two numbers.
And if Orlando Jones wasn't in it, it would have been a 4.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. So two points right there, just because there was some levity.
Big ups to Orlando Jones for making the movie tolerable.
Absolutely. All right.
So what do you got for me?
So this next week, I got all creature features.
Ooh.
And I tried to pick ones that I haven't seen.
Okay.
Because I also haven't seen this one. I'm trying to just find new movies here.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some themes here. We've got a monster animal that is a thing of lore/legend.
Okay.
Because this was supposed to be like a legendary crocodile. We've got a river monster.
Okay.
We've got a reptile.
Ooh.
Or we've got something that's just a big animal.
So vague. You're killing me with this.
Right?
What was the first one?
First one, it was a creature of lore/legend.
I'm gonna go with the lore/legend creature.
All right, I think this one might be a new one for you as well.
Ooh,
it's called Winter Beast.
Never heard of that shit.
Me either.
All right,
it's on Shudder. So
thank God.
I just went on Shudder and I was looking for animal movies because I wanted to find one that was sort of accessible.
Let me see the other. What else did you have on that list?
So River Monster, we got The Host.
Okay. I believe definitely. Now here's the problem. That's South Korean. And you're gonna have to read subtitles.
Hey, I was gonna do it.
Yeah,
I was gonna do it. For reptile, we got Anaconda.
Of course, you're sitting there and telling me that you have not seen Anaconda.
I think I did, when it came out.
Oh my God!
But I haven't since.
I want you to know that halfway through this movie, he's gonna put Anaconda on his list.
Yeah.
Giant reptile in the water. Well.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Honestly, it started off as a list of just crocodile movies. Because there was another one called Rogue.
Yeah.
And it seemed like exactly the same as this movie. So I was just like,
It is. Now, there are parts of it that are a little bit better. There's definitely more crocodile in it.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, maybe eventually. And then the one for big animal, I put unnaturally big animal, but that's not true at all because it's the Meg.
Oh.
that thing is just naturally big. I guess realistically, the reptile would have been the unnaturally big one because I think that's just a big old snake, right?
What, Anaconda or the Meg?
The anaconda, right? It's just an unnaturally big snake.
It's a giant snake. It's not even unnaturally big. It's just an anaconda.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was... Okay, so nothing's unnaturally big.
Now, megalodons don't actually exist anymore, so I guess it would fall into that category. With that being said, it's not a fucking horror movie. Jason Statham is in it.
Well, look.
Jason Statham is in it.
Again.
What horror movie has Jason Statham been in ever? Except for his most recent movies because of how bad they are.
Well, this one, it also has Rainn Wilson, so...
Yeah.
But horror was the second one on IMDb when I checked the genre. I was just looking for big animals.
Well, I've never fucking heard of Winter Beast.
All right. Well,
so here we go.
That'll be a good one. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Find it somehow. It's on Shudder. That'll be next week. Do you have anything you want to end the podcast with?
For those of you who haven't seen Primeval, good.
Yeah, you really didn't need to.